Hello, my name is Carly with Keep Gastonia Beautiful, and we are out here at the beautiful Rankin Lake, and we are going to read another story. Today's story is Duffy's Lucky Escape, and this is a true story about the problems of plastic in our ocean. And this is by Ellie Jackson and Liz Oldmeadow. Once off an island far, far away in the sun and the sea lived a beautiful sea turtle called Duffy. She happily swam in the warm, clear waters of her coral reef, searching for tasty jellyfish and shimmering shoals of fish to eat. She liked to dive down to the sandy seafloor to munch on waving beds of delicious seagrass, and then she would float gently up to the surface to bask in the hot tropical sun. One day, a wild and ferocious storm whipped up the sea into towering waves and crashed down on poor Duffy. The storm raged on, sending her spinning and tumbling away from her home, pushing her further out into the sea. Strange objects were floating all around Duffy and looked like jellyfish in these gloomy waters. They had short tentacles and balloon-shaped bodies, and they wallowed slowly in the drifting currents. Duffy thought they were food, and she reached out through the water to swallow their slimy bodies into her hungry tummy. For a long time, Duffy floated and rested on the surface as she was starting to feel strange inside her shell. Her tummy was hurting and a light, bubbly feeling kept gurgling up through her body. She longed for some cool seagrass to soothe her aching tummy, but she couldn't dive deep enough to reach any. She didn't understand what was happening to her. Once powerful flippers now felt weak, and her body kept pulling her back to the surface. Duffy heard a loud roaring and whining noise circling around her. It scared her and confused her so much she didn't know which way to go. Suddenly, she was pulled backwards and then lifted up, high out of the water, and into the fisherman's boat. She lay quiet and still, frightened by the noise and the smells of the people who had rescued her. The fishermen had seen turtles like this before, floating and not able to dive, and they knew that Duffy needed help. The kind fishermen slowly poured seawater over Duffy so she could stay cool in their journey to safety and peace at the turtle hospital. At the turtle hospital, there were lots of blue tanks filled with clear running water, which were home to other sick turtles. Gentle hands cleaned and scraped the seaweed from her shell. Duffy was fed fish daily, octopus and jellyfish, to build up her strength, but still the pain inside her tummy grew. Duffy was placed on a special bed with vets looking after her. As she drifted off to sleep, she dreamt of the beach where she was born. While she slept, she had an x-ray taken, which showed that the food she had eaten after the storm was not food at all, but instead plastic bags and bits of old drinks, bottles, and wrappers, which people had thrown away and had washed into the sea or had been left at the beach. The plastic rubbish floating in the sea had tricked Duffy to look like food, and she had gobbled it up, which then made her very, very sick. The vets operated on Duffy to remove the plastic from her stomach, or otherwise she would have died. Duffy was lucky. As she started to recover, she grew stronger and heavier again. Her shell started to shine, and her flippers were powerful, and her body was healthy. She would move into a large tank with creatures she remembered from her reef, darting colorful shoals of tropical fish, large and lumbering sharks, and gliding sea rays. Duffy felt relaxed, confident in her strong swimming and graceful diving, and she enjoyed being with her new friends in the aquarium while the visitors watched and smiled. Finally, the day came when Duffy was fully recovered and ready to be released back to her home. People gathered on the beach to watch Duffy being returned to the sea. The children eagerly peered into her crate to see her, and the news cameras took pictures for the whole country to see. Duffy was carried down to the beach, where she looked around her and the two lines of cheering people and the shimmering ocean she remembered so well, and then she felt strong hands released her, and finally, she was free. She screamed over the sand, instinct steering her down the beach into the warm water, and then under the sea, A breath once more, and then under again. Duffy happily swam back to her home, and the reefs and the seagrass free of plastics that the people had put into the sea, free to chase and hunt, to swim and dive once again. The end.